What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys today because we're going to be talking about some new cards being added to Blazing Vortex. We have Metalfoes. Yeah, Metalfoes. You remember Metalfoes. You know, they're that really cool archetype that came out during the Pendulum format, and a lot of their support was really, really good, and they had some really, really good monsters, and then Master Rule 4 killed them. I mean, well, they had electrumite, and then the ban list hit electrumite. So yeah, they're back. And the crazy thing about the Metalfoes overall, they were really, really good. They had a lot of stability to them, but unfortunately, because of how the game was, Metalfoes, like a lot of other pendulum-based archetypes, ended up getting just unfortunately moved to the side because although they had a link monster, they had a lot of coverage. Just Master Rule 4 screwed them over. Um, but ironically enough, Konami wants to give them some more support and give them another chance. So let's actually take a look at this new Metalfoes support. Now, just to let everyone know, when the Metalfoes support did get announced, it was actually during one of the Comic Con events. I want to say it's New York Comic Con, or no, it was a Japanese Comic Con that happened in Japan. It was very widely small, but it was still big enough for where Konami execs were there. They were showing off product, and they were showing off some more support for Blazing Vortex, which I do believe at the time of this recording, they're only a few weeks away from Blazing Vortex being officially out in the OCG, and then the TCG will get this in February, as opposed to their update. So, why don't we take a look at the new Metalfoes fusion? The Metalfoes support. So first off is Pyramidal Melcaster. It is a level 7 fire attribute psychic type pendulum effect monster with a pendulum scale of 1. 2000 attack, 2500 defense. So it affects reads pendulum effect. You can once per turn you can target one other face up card you control and destroy it. If you do, set one Metalfoes spell or trap card directly from your deck. Then its monster effect. You can only use this card's name effect once per turn. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle card effect, you can add one Metalfoes Pendulum monster in your extra deck to your hand, except for Metalfoes Melcaster. But you cannot activate a card with the name of the Pendulum within the Pendulum Zone for the rest of the turn. Then we have Metalfoes Vanisher. This is a level 9 fire attribute psychic type pendulum effect monster. Pendulum scale of 1, attack of 2900, and a defense of 1900. So its pendulum effect says you can only use this card's pendulum. The name of this card's name is pendulum effect once per turn. If a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can add one Metalfoes monster from your graveyard to your hand, except Metalfoes Vanisher. Monster effect. You only use this card's first and second effect once per turn each. You target up to 2 cards you control, including a Metalfoes card, destroy them. If you do, just summon this card from your hand. If this card is successfully summoned by a Metalfoes card's effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. Then we have Pyramidal Astralis. This is a level 8 level 8 fire psychic fusion pendulum effect monster with a pendulum scale of 8, level 7, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. You only use pendulum effect. You only use this card's name's pendulum effect once per turn. If a face-up Metalfoes card you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. Monster effect. One Metalfoes monster plus one fusion monster. You only use this card's name's first effect once per turn. If this card shows something from the extra deck, you can target one you can target one card your opponent controls, shuffle 2 face-up pendulum monsters in your extra deck into your main deck, and if you do, destroy that target. If this card in your monster zone is destroyed, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Then we have the Heavy Metalfoes Alamag. What's it? No, Amolag. It is a Link 2 Fire Attribute Psychic type Link monster, 2000 attack, points left and right. 2 Metalfoes monsters. You only use this card's name effect once per turn. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a card effect, you can activate one of these effects. Target one Metalfoes monster you control, equip this card to that card as an equipped spell, and it gains 1000 attack. Target one Metalfoes monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. Then the next card up in the last of them is Pyramidal Fusion. Normal spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. Fusion summon one Metalfoes monster from your extra deck using up to one monster each from your hand, field, and or face up among your pendulum monsters in your extra deck as fusion material. So that's pretty much the gist of all the cards. So going through each of them one by one. Pyramidal Caster. This is actually a really good starting point. I do remember previously that a lot of the other Metalfoes had their abilities to destroy other Metalfoes cards and do other various effects. For this one, of course, it is just a reaction to put Metalfoes spells and traps onto the field. Primarily going to go get your fusions. If not your fusions, you have some really good bumped up spell cards. Trap cards as well, but there are a lot of effects in response. As far as the monster effect, being able to add face-up Metalfoes pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand is not bad, but you can't activate it as a pendulum effect. No, you can't activate it as a pendulum, put it in the pendulum zone. So at least when you do your pendulum summon, you have some wide range there. As far as this attack and defense stats go, it's just a very big wall. I do remember one of the other Metalfoes monsters is kind of similar to that. It's a normal. So, this is going to be very abrupt there. Then we have Metalfoes Vanisher. Just another... Actually, I would consider this to be a boss monster. Just judging by its effect to be able to such summon itself by you targeting 2 cards you control, one being the one being a Metalfoes card, destroying them to be able to drop it onto the field, and then this ability to target a card in your opponent's graveyard or on the field and banish it. Yeah, that gives it some really good boss monster setup. It has some really good boss monster stats too. 2900 attack, 1900 bucks. And even as a pendulum monster, it's not too bad there because you can add a Metalfoes card from your graveyard to your hand. So it has recovery, and then it has field presence. And of course, both of these two monsters need to have the scales of 1. Now let's talk about the extra deck monster. Azeroth being a pendulum scale of 8, and I'm pretty sure the range for most of the Metalfoes monsters are between 1 and 8. This does help fare out well there. Being able to target face-up cards on the field and destroy them. If a face-up Metalfoes card or cards you control is destroyed by card effect, which, mind you, in response to their own unique ability, with their own specific abilities to destroy cards, you're pretty much doing a trade-off 1-for-1. But remember, when you're destroying most of your Metalfoes cards, there's always some added additions to them, as well as additions to other effects. So this actually pans out pretty well. And then not to mention that this can shuffle cards. This can get rid of cards. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad of a monster on the scale, and it's actually just looking at it overall, it's still actually pretty beast of a monster. It kind of gives you the feels of, I forget which Odd Eyes monster it is, but I do remember there is an Odd Eyes Odd Eyes Exceed monster, and it also happens to be a pendulum monster. There's also a synchro as well. But I think that's a synchro that's a pendulum monster. Yeah, pendulum monster that's a synchro monster. So, kind of gives you the array of things there. Then, let's move on to one of the monsters I kind of feel is a little disappointing. And that's actually the Heavy Metalfoes Analog. This disappointing link markers, because there's no Left and right are kind of meh. If it was bottom left, bottom right, it'd probably be different. As far as its other two, I mean, its monster effects aren't bad. Just the fact that if a Metalfoes monster you control, you can equip this card to it to give it 1,000 attack. And if a Metalfoes monster, a Metalfoes card you control is destroyed, you just summon this card. So it's not bad by any means. The only issue is the markers. That's it. If the link markers pointed bottom left and right, it'd be set. But I think because of it being left and right, it's kind of the only thing that's drawing back. Everything else is perfectly fine. That's the only thing that I don't like about this card is where its link markers are. Then we have the Metalfoes Fusion, which pretty much just takes Fusion to a new level for the Metalfoes while incorporating face-up pendulum monsters in your extra deck, as well as the monsters that are in your hand and on your side of the field. So not too shabby with this one. Not too shabby at all. If I was to grade all of this, I'd honestly give it an A. I mean, there's a lot going for it that on paper doesn't look strong, but when you put it together with a lot of the other Metalfoes setup, with a lot of pendulum setup overall, this can actually work out pretty well. So let me know what you guys think about this in the whole overlaps of the new Metalfoes support. And do you think we'll be seeing Metalfoes? And I'm going to ask you now, do you think it's possible that electrumite could come back because there is this new support? You know, they did Rusty Bird. Yeah, Bardish, is that his name? Rusty Bardish. Well, he came back, and Phantom Rage is coming out soon. So, do you possibly think that this could work out? Do you see a lot of this going? Do you even see Metalfoes making a comeback? I mean, we already see Pendulums making a comeback, because Pendulum, I think it was Double Iris Magician. It's back now. You got a lot of the setup there. So, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and of course, hit the notification bell so you can be informed of when I do upload more content. And also hit up the social media because those links are in the description box below. Thanks everybody for watching, and HPJ signing out. Take care.